I'll be storytelling every kizungu every once in a while, and
Now I will not fumble a bag. Fumble a bag. Now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel where we move and improve. So it's your girl Serphine Olal. I'm back with another video. Sit back and enjoy. So today will be a story time on what happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it was repulsive, least to say. So what happened is I was going to town. So I was wearing a mat going to town on that day, and a mat is a bus. For those of you who don't use matatus, here in Kenya we call our buses our means of transport. For those who don't have cars, we call them matatus. So whenever you hear me say mat, know that I mean a bus. So I went to board a bus at the stage. The stage is what you guys call bus stop. So ours is called stage. So I went to board a mat at the stage, and this mat was almost full. So there was one guy there. These guys who normally just sit on the mat so that they lure people into the mat by making them feel like the mat is full and it's almost going, so that you get into the mat, because there are many. So you will obviously go for the one that's almost full. So I went inside that one. That one was just remaining with one space. So the guy who was seated, the last guy who was there, the guy who now came out, and then I went to sit where he was seated. So I passed him by the door. So I got inside the mat. He saw me coming. He stood up, left, so that I get inside the mat. Wait. Yeah. So I went and sat there. It was a window seat, a corner seat. So you just know how buses are structured, how buses in other countries look. Then there's Kenya, always so extra. It's one seat, there's a space in between, and then one seat. So where I was seated, there was a guy in this. So let's say that space right there is the door. It's not the door, it's the window. And then this was my seat, and then this guy was seated here, and then there was space here, and then some other two guys. So this guy, the guy seated here, and those other two guys knew each other. So it's like they sat like that so that they could talk maybe throughout the journey. So as I wanted to pass and go sit to my window seat, tell me why the audacity some people have in this world. I don't know if it's in this world, this country, this era. I don't know what people think. This guy, as I was passing, because I was carrying a backpack and I wanted to pass to now sit at the window seat. This guy, tell me why this guy ups and just grabs my bum like this. You see, I've heard of stories where people are walking in town, just walking, and then some idiot just thinks of spanking them or things like that. But this wasn't even a spank. It was a full-on like grab, and I was like, to be honest, I was mind blown, and I was furious is an understatement. I was furious. So I just sat down and I asked him, did you just touch me? And then he was like, no, it's not me, it's the guy who just left the seat for you. And I'm like, I passed that guy by the door. What do you mean? Do I look like someone who's stupid that you can lie to and give excuses that are not even, like, look for something that's even close to the truth and lie about it? Because why? So I asked him, if it's not you, then it's your friends. And if you're not saying anything about it, it means you're as bad as they are. And so he said, Madam, mimi nishakwambia si mimi. And then I don't like drama. So I decided what I'll do is I'll address this scenario, this particular case, by being passive aggressive. So what I did is, you know how eye contact, direct eye contact disturbs people. It makes them feel little and small. So what I did, I just looked at the guy. The entire journey, it was like, a 30 minutes drive, and I was looking at him straight in his eyes like this, and I was making conversation, acting like I'm smiling, but I was furious. But I just wanted him to feel uncomfortable, and like I wanted him to be repulsed as I was. So I was just looking at him straight in his eyes, and I started asking him, and the way you're dressed like someone who's mature, the way you look like someone who knows what he's doing, just someone who has his brains together. You mean you can be wearing, he was wearing this Ankara made shirt. No, I was telling him, yani umevaa kitenge, unakaa pasta, and you're up here walking around touching people's bums. Are you okay in the head? And he's like, Madam, sinishasema si mimi. That was him saying, I have already told you it's not me. I'm like, I'm only seated here with you. We can't say it's the driver, Ama the Nani, who came here and touched my bum. I'm like, yani, you mean you can look like that and walk around touching people's bums? And then I was looking at him and asking him, do you have a wife? He's just quiet. He's looking the other direction, trying to look at his friends, trying to talk to his friends. And I wasn't stopping. I wasn't having it. I just kept on asking him, do you have a wife? How would you feel if your wife boarded a mat and some guy like you ups and just grabs her bum like that? How disrespectful can that be? How would you feel if you're here with her and someone just touches her like that? And he was just there quiet. Yeah, he started cringing. Like he was so scared. I don't know if scared is not the word. He was just uncomfortable. You see how when you sit with someone, it's inevitable that there'll be some sort of touch because you're seated right next to them. So maybe your clothes will touch or something like that. So he had squeezed himself in this one seat. He almost even fell down at the path of the bus because he didn't want to even touch me. And I was like, that serves you right for being uncouth. So I just kept quiet. And as before we got to town, there was a stage right before town, and this is before the bus drops, where the bus drops people last. So this guy alighted way before we got to town, him and his friends, because I was making them uncomfortable. And as they were leaving, I remember one of them telling me, Madam, kama tumekukosea pole. And like, if you've wronged you, then we're sorry. And I was like, you haven't wronged me. You go ahead with your business. Go ahead. Go on touching people's bums. See, that is what makes you happy. Go ahead and do you. And to me, that was just, I feel like I got justice, even though like, it wasn't as like that much, but I feel like he got what he deserved. And then another story number 2. Some few days ago, some 3-4 days ago, I boarded a mat from Rongai. All of you know how mats from Rongai are. So it has a lot of conductors. I don't know how many they are. There are people who get people inside the buses. There's someone who takes money. There's someone, there are just a lot of people. So I remember I was seated right next to the door. The seat right next to the door, the one that people normally like, it's normally meant for those conductors. So I was seated there at the window. And so when, you know how they normally hang at the door, and then they hang and swing at the door and things like that. And so where I was seated, there was a guy, one of those many conductors who get people to board inside the bus, who went to the window where I was seated from the door, like he chunguliad to the window. I don't know how to put it. Like, this is like this is the window. I'm seated here. This is the door. And so the way they normally hang at the mats, he could see me through the window here. And so I had my, let me show you. I had my sunglasses right here like this. So they were here like this. And I was there's an outfit I was wearing. And so this guy was just staring at me. I think he was staring at my cleavage, I think. So he was just staring, and I asked him, Nini? And he was chewing cat. Alikuwa anachana miraa. He was chewing cat, and it was just an ugly scene. The way he looked and the way his face wasn't giving, it was actually taking everything. So I just looked at him and I asked him, Nini mbaya? Why are you looking at me like that? And he's like, hapo mali umeka hizo glasses, auogopi zinaweza anguka. And I looked at him. I was so tired. I looked at him and I was like, eh. So in my head, I'm so like, I'm angry right now. I'm angry. Like, I'm just mad. And I ask him, and like, before I ask him this, I've contemplated a lot of things, and like, I'm like, I wanted to even like push his face so that, because the bus was moving and he's here hanging on the matatu and telling me crap. So a lot of things are going through my head. I'm like, this guy, should I just push his head so that he falls down? And then I told myself, what if he dies? And now I've committed homicide, and now I have to go to prison. And now I'm eating beans and ugali every day. And I was like, that is not the path I want to follow. So let me just hold myself together. And I told myself, what will I tell this guy? So I asked him, wewe, na hiyo mira yenye unakula, hauogopi inaweza kunyonga? And then he looked at me and was like, msichana, even unongeleshanga watu. That was, like, I asked him, like, is that how you talk to people? And I was like, yeah, that is how I talk to people like you. And he was like, sawa bas madam. And I was like, you got what you deserved. Because these people are just, they need to be stopped. I mean, it is too much, ain't it? Like, I'm sure you guys experience this thing. So if you do, please share with me on the comment section. Tell me what you think about this story. Is this something that happens to every lady? Do men experience such? Because I doubt, but if there are some who have, I would like to hear stories from you, and maybe I'll share them in my platform. I'm looking forward to you guys telling me your stories. I want here to be a storytelling. I'll be storytelling every kizungu every once in a while. And yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love the growth. I love how you guys have been viewing my videos. I'm really thankful. I'm looking forward to growing. Please subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, tell your husband to subscribe, tell your wife, and I'll be so grateful when we grow together and hit those goals and grow. Our slogan, you've noticed that our slogan is moving and improving, because I want every video to be an improvement of the last, and I'm hoping you enjoy every video. And I've realized people's attention span is very, very low, so I'll be trying to make my videos as short as possible and as enjoyable as possible. It will be like a trailer, the way you wait for trailers and movies. You'll be wishing this is a series. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much if you've already subscribed. Please subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more videos, working together and improving, growing and improving. Thank you very much. Oh, and also, you remember when I said I'll try and improve on my background? This and that. That's a DIY I did the other day. If you want to see a video on it, please check my shorts. And yeah, thank you very much. See you. Catch you next time.